So this is a business scenario we have taken, especially as a role of a business analyst in payments domain, because we have covered many payment domain related, business analyst related sessions, and which were posted in my channel. You can watch it. Today, as part of interview scenario based orientation or any business scenario based orientation, as a business analyst, we are working on payments. We should work on couple of scenarios like we have, because when we project ourselves as a business analyst in payments, situation based, scenario based explanation is always needed when we go for interview. It is not only sufficient to know about payment domain training alone, or business analyst training alone. Apart from that, what situations you have come across, how you have dealt with, how you have faced, this is what any interviewer expects from any candidate who attend for an interview. In that regard, so I'm taking one scenario. Let's say, for example, merchant is reported mismatching of payment settlement amount comparing to the daily transaction reports. For example, this is a scenario when we are working for some solution towards merchant based applications. Merchant, nothing but a person who sells the goods, etc. Right? So they are reported some mismatch of payment settlement amount. How you have addressed as a BA, how you have addressed this kind of problem. Okay. So the situation is this: payment mismatch is the situation. Okay, for the settlement amount, for the daily transaction reports and all. So being a BA, our approach must be in three ways. One, we need to analyze the settlement reports and acquire the data, because knowing about the JAT session. Because anyway, as a BA, whatever the roles and responsibilities that will be defined by, that is anyway common, which I am not getting into that. This is because anyway that if any BA learner knows about all that, so I don't want to get into those detailed things. But from the situation point of view, we need to analyze the settlement reports and acquire the data, so that we have to, first of all, as a BA, when we are interacting with stakeholders and all, we need to identify the differences. What are the differences that we have seen here, wherein in terms of the refunds processed post cutoff, or any kind of failed bad jobs, or any kind of currency conversion discrepancies. These are the any differences. Because of these differences, the payment mismatch might have been erased. So this, based upon the observation at the client location, we'll get to know many things. At the same time, when we are interacting with some end users and all, we will be knowing. So different ways of communication, we need to identify what could be the reason behind mismatch of payment settlement. So three reasons I have given. One, it can be failed batch jobs, it can be refund processed post cutoff, or it can be currency conversion discrepancies and all. So these are the three differences it could be because of the payment settlement. So this we come across when we have interacted with stakeholders. Next, we need to define the business rules, because understanding the business rules, defining the business rules for a particular logic, for reconciliation logic, is important, because knowing the business rules, understanding the business rules of the organization, updating those business rules accordingly is also one of the key and core responsibility as a BA. We need to know. It's not only about creating some documents like BRD, FRD for automated reconciliation systems, etc. Or when we follow Agile and all, we write user stories. That's a different thing, right? So it's not alone is important. Apart from that, we need to define the business rule for reconciliation logic, because this is a payment mismatch. So the kind of logic that we have to identify is about the reconciliation process, because reconciling means reconciliation of the payments which were happened so far, right? So you want to cross check, reconciling all the payments that were done so far. So you want to reconcile all that. So whatever the business logic relating to reconciliations point of view, that logic has to be. This may differ from company to company, client to client, organization to organization. Their business rule can have a difference. So those we have to be defined. Next, how are we documenting? So for this, we have to create a business requirements document or any functional requirements document. If not, writing user stories. This is for the next one. So automated reconciliation system. So application, if you say, and if you are claiming yourself that which project you have worked for, so that this is the project. Automated reconciliation system is a project. In that, there is one business problem. What was the business problem? Mismatching of payment settlement is one of the business problem. Being a business analyst, I have identified, and this is what the approach I have followed, and these are my roles and responsibilities. This is how you need to present yourself as a experienced professional when you're going for business analyst work. So these kind of scenario based learnings are more important to have a more value to your profile that you maintain. So these kind of scenario based learnings are always important. That is what something just this session is all about.